What's up, everybody? It's the Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren, along with his fellow co-hosts, Dorian the D.A. Albritton, James the Angry One Warren, Mike Mills, Daryl D-Dub Warren, and Dan K, the Hockey Dude. This is a real sports podcast for real fans. This is a sports podcast with no hot takes, no narratives, just real, unadulterated sports talk. Please be advised that there may be some colorful and explicit language. The Sports Chasers are the defenders of the fans. Now, here's your host and moderator, Kevin L. Warren!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's happening, everybody? Hey, it's another episode of the Sports Chasers Podcast, coming to you live and direct here on our YouTube channel. Sorry we're a little bit tardy, man, but life got in the way. But we are here. We are here tonight, man. And you probably saying, well, where's everybody? Well, they're not here. But I got my main man, Dorian Jr. is with us tonight.
Hey, what's going on?
Dorian Jr. would say what's up to the people. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? You know, glad to be a part of the show. Get some reps in. You know what I mean?
So Dorian Jr. is with us tonight, man. We're going to talk a little college football, NFL football tonight. The NFL is back. The NFL is back. You know, rocking the Sports Chasers.
You got the jersey.
You know,
yeah, very nice.
Our own football jersey here. I can't show you my back, but, you know, got the name on it, you know, number one. So, you know, rocking our colors, doing our thing, man. Hey, before we get into the show tonight, make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can get all the notifications when we come through and come on live. Also, you make sure we're on all podcast platforms, man. Make sure you go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. Give us that 5-star review so we can jack up the algorithm and get out to more of the people. Make sure you comment also on like us, love us, and hate us. Hey, man, we receive all comments. We love them all. We just here to talk sports, man, in an unadulterated manner here. So we're here tonight. Like I said, we're gonna get into college football. We're gonna get into some NFL. We're gonna talk about it. Like I said, the NFL is tonight. The NFL, the first game of the NFL season is tonight. You got the Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions. That game is in Kansas City. For all you fantasy players, including myself, you know, if you're a fantasy player, Travis Kelce has been ruled out tonight. He has been ruled out. So make the changes. I made the changes here. Shortly, I picked Kelce number one. He's out tonight. If you want to fact check me, go fact check me. But he is definitely going to be out tonight. So start the number two guy for your tight end tonight if you got Kelce. We're supposed to get a fantasy expert on here too. I'm not a fantasy expert. I've been playing fantasy football for a long time, man. But Dorian J, I don't know if you play fantasy football. You mess with it?
I actually just got into it with my guys. I normally don't do it, but it was something that we were just like, why not? You know what I mean? So it's funny. I almost picked Kelce, and luckily my friend picked him before I did, and he picked him way too early. So I ended up with Waller, which I think is a solid pick as well.
So, yeah, we talked about Waller last week. I think, me as a Giant fan, I think Waller's going to do some work as long as he stays healthy. If he stays healthy, he definitely be all right. And I know that's been an issue in the past when he's with the Raiders. As long as he stays healthy, he will be all right. We got our guest that usually comes through for the college and college football tip and the NFL tip. My man Wells. Wells should be joining us shortly once he gets a moment. And, hey, we're going to chop it up about college football first. And when Wells comes on, he'll come through and he'll talk more about it on the side. But we got my man Dorian Jr. He's with us. Dorian Jr. Let's start off with college football, man. So the hottest ticket item, before I start, let me just read the rankings, right? According to CBS Sports, the AP Top 25, you got Georgia's 1-0, Michigan is 1-0, Alabama 1-0. They all won cupcake games, in my opinion. Florida State just got rid of LSU the other night they're 1-0. Ohio State 1-0. USC is 2-0. Hey, the Pac-12, the Pac-10, or whatever they are, Pac-12, yo, they're the best conference, my opinion, top to bottom. And y'all might be saying, "Oh, you SEC fans, oh no, that can't be." No, Pac-12 is pretty good this year. Penn State is number 7. Washington is 1-0. Tennessee is 1-0. Notre Dame, I don't know how they still playing cupcakes. They're 2-0. The DA, if he was on, he would be very mad about this Notre Dame ranking of 2-0. Longhorns, they're 1-0. Utah, hey, watch out for Utah. Utah is pretty good, man. They're 1-0. Oregon is 1-0. LSU is 0-1, and Kansas State is 1-0. Oregon State 1-0. UNC, good win against South Carolina the other night. And Charlotte, they're 1-0. Oklahoma is 1-0. Wisconsin's 1-0. Mississippi's 1-0. Then you got Duke. Hey, shout out to Duke. Duke, a basketball school.
They pulled it out. They did something I was not expecting. I was seeing a bunch of different memes and stuff saying, don't go calling yourself a basketball school when you lose, talking about Duke. And then they end up winning. So what can you say? What can you say? You know what I mean? So
listen, the quarterback, his name escapes me at the time, man. He played very well. Clemson fans, and Wells, who's a Clemson fan, he had a lot of explaining to do on social media about his team, Clemson, losing to Duke the other night. But Duke is very good. I'm not saying this because I'm a Giants fan. Daniel Jones came from Duke.
Yeah, he did.
And I just think it's the time with the NIL and all the other things, what's going on with college football. It's some teams you'll see they'll be getting better. What's your take on that?
I think so too, because now the opportunity comes with the likeness of the player before they even get to the school. It's almost like the schools are recruiting the bag from the kids that they're getting in high school. So they're essentially giving them things that they may already be getting, but just saying, hey, look, we'll make sure your NIL bag is bigger. We'll make sure we put you on the platform even more, because most of these kids are already, verified check marks on Twitter, on Instagrams already. I mean, like I know there's a kid I met just the other day, a sophomore in high school, verified check mark just because like he's a, well-rounded football player. You know what I mean?
And he probably didn't pay for it either. He got it on for real.
He got it because he can play football. He's really good. He actually plays for Providence Day. They were on TV the other day actually.
And Providence Day, those that's not privy to the Charlotte area, they've been pretty much a football. I wouldn't say powerhouse, but they've been notoriety in football. Is that did I stand to be correct?
Yeah. They have a really good coach. A quarterback coach is what I call him. His a guy named Chad Greer. His son's actually in the NFL now. Plays for the Dallas Cowboys. And he's really good at what he does. From what I've seen, just being around the area, Charlotte area, he knows what he's doing, knows what he talks about, and he has over some pretty good quarterbacks. I think actually, funny enough, his old quarterback Hartman plays for Notre Dame right now. So that's a funny, funny kind of thing. My pops would probably be sick about that, but I think he is a starting quarterback for Notre Dame right now, Sam Hartman.
Cool. Shout out to Duke for the impressive win the other night. You had where did I stop at? UNC, Oklahoma, Duke, Colorado. We'll talk about them in a second. Texas A&M, Tulane, and Clemson. They round out the top 25 according to CBS. Speaking of CBS also is our streamer on our ticker on our website. Make sure you visit our website, sportschaserspodcast.net. Every episode that we ever done, Audible wise, is on there. You can click on there. You can also get those awesome newsletters that we write. Every Chasers member every week writes a journalistic piece about anything in the world of sports. I recently just did one about the University of Colorado and Coach Deion Sanders. Check it out. You got to subscribe to the newsletter, please. So make sure you subscribe to the newsletter. We appreciate that. So with that said, Dwayne Jr., what's your thoughts? Colorado, University of Colorado, the Buffaloes.
Yeah.
them, putting on the show that they did. I mean, should we be pumping out breaks? I mean, we talked about it. Let me also plug. I know I'm doing a lot of plugs. We also do a little college football thing. We did one on Monday to do it 30 minutes. We're going to try to see how we're going to do that. So make sure you check out that episode too. But Dorian Jr., what do you think about that win? Is it too much, too soon? Are we making too much of everything?
It's not
what do you think about the whole?
Yeah, it's not too soon because you're talking about a team that was 1-11 last year. I mean, right? So they've already like encapsulated their win percentage from last year, right?
Right.
They've already got that one win. And just the excitement overall in the program, I think, is going to be great because they have good ball players. I don't think they have guys that are like cupcakes. The top three guys, Shador, which is, Deion's son, the quarterback, I thought he played really, really well. He was, as we say in basketball, you hit make that's, which is, your layups and stuff. He hit all his make that's. I think he had one long ball early in the first quarter.
Yes.
That went over Travis. But other than that, no, excuse me, it was short. Pardon me. It was actually short. But other than that, the man was hitting dimes all game, right? Then you got the running back, who's my favorite player, that boy Edwards. Dylan Edwards he's the X factor. If he plays well all season, Colorado has a chance to be in a really high level bowl game. I believe that. Whether it be a national championship, that might be pushing it. We tell you, still one game, right? We want to see the rest of their schedule. But as far as if Dylan plays well, I think they're going to do great. That's my opinion. And then obviously, Travis Hunter. I mean, he got the D on the jersey for a reason. That's the dog. That's the biggest dog out there. I like him. Young blood that really wants to just play the game. He's hungry for it. They have the pieces around. They have the skill players around. And I think they have the energy in their coach, which I think is, almost half the battle as well. Inspiration and being a leader. And they got Deion Sanders, man. I don't know if you heard the pregame speech. I did. It made me want to play.
So if you have never played football, right? The highest level I played was high school, man. The biggest thing about football is getting people to buy in to what you're selling. And if you ain't selling nothing, ain't nobody buying. But if you're selling something and people want to purchase it, hey, you got to be a great motivator. You got to have a great sphere of influence when it comes to football. And Deion, like you said, some people don't like Deion. Some people can't stand Deion. Some people love Deion. I've been knowing, not personally, but I've been following and knowing Deion ever since his days with when he went to Florida State. And he's always been a showman. He always will be a showman. From the times when he, played with the Yankees, when he signed with the Yankees and played there, and his times with the Atlanta Braves and MLB, also with the Atlanta Falcons when he made his debut, and then when he left Atlanta and went to San Francisco and went to Dallas, he's always been a showman. He's always been a showman. So, and that's what Deion does. That's what Deion does, and his kids are buying into it. His kids are buying into it. Like Dorian said, they was 1-11 last year, so ain't no way but on the way up.
That's how I look at it. They literally can't get any worse. That's you know what I mean. So I think they're going to be great.
Gotcha. So we got my man Wells. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
Wells, yes, sir.
There's
Easy feedback. You have.
Yeah, we can't do this.
Yeah, we can't do this because there's a feedback.
You gotta have headphones.
You can't hear.
Okay, hold on.
Crazy feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so these kids are buying into it, and a bunch. I think how many kids left from Jackson State that he brought over to Buffalo?
That I don't know. I know it was a lot though, because what he said I'm bringing my luggage and it's Louis. You know, he wasn't playing. He said, "I'm bringing my luggage, and it's Louis." And
Yeah.
you know, they probably got the right amount of players out of there. Let me see real quick.
Sador, while you look that up, Sador Sanders was 38 for 47 for 510 yards. 510 yards, ladies and gentlemen. He had 4 TDs, no turnovers, no interceptions. So
you know what was most impressive about that?
Yeah.
He had 4 different receivers over 100 yards.
Yes.
That's insane. That means there's no one person in that offense that's, you know, overpowering. It's, hey, look, if you get open, I'm going to get you the ball. Plain and simple, right? And like I said, my man was dropping dimes all day. So I think at the end of the day, you saw what he was able to do against, you know, and granted, let's be fair. TCU's secondary is not that great. Let's just be fair. You know, they weren't that great, but he still picked them apart.
Gotcha. Hey, we got my man Wells. Wells, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. How's it going, brother?
I'm good, bro, man. This is Dorian Jr. that's on with us. This is the DA's son.
What's going on, Wells?
Okay, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Yeah, man.
Bless.
We're just sitting here. We just started talking about college football. DA should be on here shortly. We wanted to get you on and get you on from time to time this year, talk about this college football thing. And we just talking about the Deion effect, him at Colorado. Give us your thoughts on what happened on Saturday, the whole 9 yards.
I think Colorado shocked a lot of people. I mean, honestly, I wasn't too shocked. I know the talent that they have over there. I know the talent that TCU lost. They actually lost 14 starters, I think, off of their last year team. So TCU isn't the same team that they were last year that went to the national championship. I mean, the kids that stayed at Colorado, they bought into whatever Deion is, giving to them. So, but like I said, they're in the Pac-12 and they got a long road ahead of them. I give them, a couple of years. I'm not ready to jump on the bandwagon yet.
Okay. So you don't believe, huh?
Not saying I don't believe, but the balance. Honestly, the balance of college football is balancing out. There's no more top dogs. Honestly, in my opinion, there's no top dog. Anybody can rule college football for a year. But I've never seen a team rule college football for one weekend and everybody instantly started with the week coming and everything. And I'm one of the person that I got to see it happens over time.
Right. So I said this before you got on. The Pac-12 to me is the best conference in football this year.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Right now, yes.
It ain't the mighty SEC. It's the Pac-12.
It's the Pac-12. And honestly, people scream the SEC, but the SEC is only 3-4 teams top heavy, if you ask me.
And who's your top?
I mean, you got Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, and I say 3 because I had LSU, but after their debacle the other night, you really can't say LSU. And if you take a look at all the other teams in the SEC, who did they really play this past weekend to say that they're a dominant conference? People scream SEC because of Alabama. Nobody really screams SEC as far as all the teams that's in there.
Missouri. No, right?
No, you can't scream SEC because Missouri or Ole Miss or, you know what I'm saying, Texas A&M, who had about 55 stars and they still lost 3-4 games. So you really can't, I'm not sold off of one weekend. I'm not.
Got you. Dorian, pushback or anything for Wells here?
No, I mean to me it's kind of what I said, but I'm excited because I like the excitement of what they're bringing to the program. You know what I mean? So I mean, my opinion is a bit biased because I genuinely want, Shador Sanders and Travis Hunter to be in the Heisman race. Like, I know that sounds silly, but like, this is me talking as a fan, right? Like, I want them to be in that position. So that's where I'm speaking from. One game is one game. I definitely want to see more. Who do they have next on the schedule? Because I want to see at least
Nebraska.
I want to see Nebraska lose.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that's a win. But if Nebraska comes out and play
the way they're supposed to,
well, let's wait till September 30th where they got to play against Patrick Mahomes too, Caleb Williams, and then
that game's
because when they play against Caleb Williams,
it's not even that game. They got Oregon before that.
Yeah,
they do.
They got Oregon before USC. So, I mean, don't overlook Oregon. I wouldn't overlook Oregon. I mean, regardless of who they played, they put up 81 points.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a lot of points. You're right.
Bo Nix,
that's a lot of points. You just don't put up 81 points. I mean,
yeah, you do if you Oregon.
If you Oregon, but
before. It's nothing different.
Yeah, but you got a lot of other powerhouse teams that played
that's the competition.
Division II or Division III schools, and they can only put up 30 points. So I mean, if you're that good, you beat the teams the way you're supposed to beat them when you play them.
Well, Bo Nix got something to prove, right? So Bo got something to prove, right? Because he got spanked last year, I think first game of the year against Ohio State. They got dealt with. I think it was Ohio State last year. It might not have been. They took an L, whatever it was, right? So, and it didn't look good because he's an ex-SEC quarterback. Before the transfer portal thing really was popping, he had made the leap from, I think, Auburn to Oregon. So I think Deion has, and anything, me, win the games you're supposed to win. That's first and foremost.
Right.
And then the USC's, UCLA, Oregon, they will probably lose all three of those games.
Washington, well, they don't play Washington, you can't sleep. You can't sleep on Washington. You can't sleep on Oregon State.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, Oregon State's quarterback is homeboy from Clemson.
Yes.
I don't want to disrespect his name, so because I ain't gonna get that right. But yeah, that dude from Clemson, that is
DJ.
Yeah, DJ, and he's a big kid. Last time I saw him, he was taking an L. They were beating Notre Dame. Last big game I saw him in, and but that said, I think that the Colorado thing is not a joke. I think it's for real. Coaching matters, and like I told the panel, is you got NFL dudes coaching these kids at every position down there. And if it's not an ex-NFL player, he got NFL coaches coaching. So I think the D coordinator is buddy that used to be the coach at Minnesota, which is that's Deion
Green.
Man.
Yes, Green. Yep.
No, not Green. Not Green.
I know what you're talking about. Gad, what is his name?
Because he coached him at Florida State, and that dude blew up. Whatever. He used to be the head coach at Minnesota, but he's a great defensive mind. And Dorian told me this. My son, right there. Well, that's my son right there. So
yeah.
So he told me this, right? As a
Charles
D1 basketball player.
Charles Kelly.
Yeah. So that when you get to the pros, they don't teach you a bunch of scientific throw the ball off the backboard. In the NBA, they make you go over basics again and again and again and again and again. So your crossover gets low. So it is quick. So when you look at it on TV, it doesn't look that way, but it is that way in reality. And that's the same way these guys are teaching these kids. Warren Sapp got these kids just repping. So they're not trying to do something new, which is what I always tell like youth coaches. They try to throw so much stuff into a playbook. I say, man, you get 5-10 plays that you can't get wrong, you'll assure yourself at least the playoffs.
Shout out to New York Bandits on that one.
Oh yeah, you know how we do. But
shout out to New York Bandits.
Yeah,
he wasn't going to plug that, but I will.
If you get a few plays that you do right, you can do that and win. And that's what's happening here. Like Deion's teaching these kids just to do the same thing, hold the ball the right way, especially the offensive line. To get that cohesion. Yeah. Because they're not scrubs. The offensive line. They're D1 dudes. But they are not 5-star D1 dudes. But there's only a few teams playing college football that got like 5-star offensive linemen and defensive linemen. Got 5 teams maybe in the whole thing. Everybody else is just big boys that used to be basketball centers in high school that, were a little too big to play in college center. And they can move their feet and they're strong. So I think it's going to be a good season, at least, I believe.
Right. And it may come down to coaching, but like I say, I mean, TCU ain't the same TCU that went to the national championship.
No, certainly not.
TCU don't have that same talent on the field this year that they had last year.
They don't.
And we all know that these preseason rankings are based off of last year.
Yep.
As we see this past weekend.
Yeah, and the schedule is made up 3 years in advance.
3 years, 3 years in advance, right?
If TCU knew they was playing this Colorado, they'd be, whoa. Wait a minute.
Right.
We don't want them.
Right.
We want the Colorado that was 1-12. That's what we want.
That's why they were on the schedule first game.
But
you gotta deal with it.
And I said this before. I mean, when you run into the teams like Washington or Oregon or USC, I mean, you got to think those teams got 4 and 5 Travis Hunters and Shadors on the team also. I mean, Oregon. We know Oregon defense is nice.
Don't play no.
We know they fast.
And don't play no.
Who, Oregon?
None of them teams play no.
Oregon.
What'd you say, Mike? Go ahead.
Oregon.
Mike, go ahead and get it.
Pac-12 teams play no defense. None of them.
Well, not if you're gonna put them up against the SEC team, but
I'm talking about against each other.
Against each other, but I mean, but I just said, which SEC teams are you talking about? Because me personally, there's only 3 or 4 SEC teams.
Yeah.
So, Mike, let me offer a little pushback. What's the best conference in this year?
SEC.
I'm telling you.
SEC.
I beg to differ. I think it's the Pac-12. I think this year they're.
You think the Pac-12 is the best conference in college football?
Yes, I could definitely agree with that.
Why do you say
so? When you
and we're not talking Big 12, the Pac-12, right?
We're talking the Pac-12.
We say Pac-12.
UCLA, USC, Oregon State, Oregon, Washington State. We talking them.
All right.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. And I mean, actually, I'm not a week 1 person, but all the Pac-12 teams won this weekend, right?
I think the best this week.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, they were the best this week. But when everybody say SEC, what SEC teams are you referring to? Because there's only really 2. Well, 3. You got Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee. What else is next?
Yeah, that's the problem. But
what else is next?
Well, you being from the South, and I know the SEC has always been top heavy. Always been top heavy.
Always. But when you say top heavy, what top heavy teams in the SEC has always been in the national championship game?
Well, it's always been Alabama, and you got Georgia, and LSU used to be good.
Yep.
LSU, LSU.
Used to be.
So after those 3 or 4, what else do you have?
Well, Auburn, every senior class, 4 years in either Auburn class is good. Kentucky, every few years.
But they still take 2 or 3 losses.
Oh yeah.
But after Alabama, Georgia, LSU, maybe Auburn every blue moon, what else do you have?
Not much but a chip.
Michael?
Well, I mean, we don't have Florida. Florida been iffy the last couple of years, but Florida's traditionally been a good winning school.
Well, they
now,
just
the
lost.
Pac-12,
and
the Pac-12, if you want to go top heavy, the Pac-12 is always top heavy. It's always USC. It's always Oregon. Washington every 3-4 years, like y'all was just alluding to. You might get a Washington State team that win 8 games and surprise you. So it's the same thing. But the SEC teams, the difference is they win titles. So wouldn't that automatically make you ahead of the rest?
Well, I wouldn't say they win titles. I would say Alabama win titles.
Georgia
Everybody else just jumps on their back.
Georgia.
Urban Georgia, okay.
He went Florida before he went crazy.
How long it took Georgia to win 2 or 3?
A long time. Since Herschel Walker.
Right. But every year it's Alabama. Every year is Alabama.
Unless you just started declining again because they went and got Brian Kelly. I don't know why they did that shit. You know how I feel about him.
Right, but
LSU was in the conversation too.
LSU, they were when they had Burrow.
Somebody screenshot this dude, man. What is my dad doing?
almost had a stroke. That's what Johnny said.
Don't do that.
You almost had a stroke about Brian.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, Brian Kelly.
No,
Brian Kelly is terrible, but
I never thought he could coach.
Yeah, no disrespect.
Me neither.
I'm not trying to.
Never thought he could coach. Never thought Brian Kelly could coach.
Ever since. But
see, that's the crazy thing, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna get that. Let's go, Kev. Go to the next topic. After that,
let's talk about him. We can talk about Fizdale.
Go ahead. Well, we are trying to watch our YouTube stuff. I met with the guys. Mike, go ahead, real quick. Just dive in there, real quick. I mean, quickly. Go.
Quickly on what?
What you was about to say? Yeah, what you was about to say
about who? Brian Kelly?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's a con artist. I mean, he looked good at Cincinnati. He parlayed that into something more, and he been parlaying ever since. Huh?
Yeah. Dorian Jr., what you got for Mr. Kelly?
I don't know much about him. That's that. Look, that just tell you everything you need to know.
Con artist.
I don't know much about him.
I know dude went down south. I know dude went down south and faked the southern accent.
Don't do it, D. I know you was gonna do that.
I was like, what? Well, y'all. What? Are you? Why don't you just be you? No, they gave you the bag. Now we want to see you coach. Because see, the thing is, we always
got paid. He got paid.
Yeah, the problem with that is that Notre Dame is a legacy school.
Guy.
Yes.
Right? So kids go to
Notre Dame. Out
of some, Notre Dame pride. My daddy went here, my daddy's daddy went here, my daddy went here. So he's never been what we would call a recruiter. Like, he's not going to go and sit on your couch and pull you from somebody else. That's not going to happen. So you got to remember, like, even now, he still got 2 years of some other cats' teams. He's only been there 2 years. So that means he got dudes 3 years that were recruited for somebody else for 3 years. So the guys that didn't leave, because they got 5-star dudes there. Like, there was a time if you was nice and you lived in Louisiana, you were not leaving the state.
No.
Period.
It's a fact.
Period. I think dude's gonna drag down that program. Point blank, period. Then.
Well, you got to look down with the realignment and all these teams jumping to these major conferences. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe.
But SEC,
everything's going to balance out.
Yeah, true.
Everything is going to balance out. Now you got the kids that were out west that were scared to go all the way to the ACC, the SEC, which is probably going to go there now because they played. You know what I'm saying? They're in the same conference or whatever. So they still going to be close to home per se, based off whatever conference alignment that they're in. So college football about to balance all the way out. And now that you got with the NIL and the transfer portal and the recruitment, the way they recruit now, these conferences, that's why I say with Colorado, Deion is about to rack up the next 2 years.
Oh, yeah,
I really think he's about to rack up.
He is.
He's going to rack up. And he's going to need to, because not only will you have to face Oregon and USC You still got Ohio State. Now you got Michigan. You got those teams that you're gonna have to end up playing against.
I think
you know. So
I would go like if I said something well, like I'm thinking, all right, from a football perspective, if Deion wants to succeed, he has to get big butts, right? So what he's going to do over the next 2 years, because he's going to get skilled position dudes, period. That they're going to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Get the lineman to be able to hold that water, he's going to have to do a little work. He's going to have to come this side of the country, or find some kids down south that's willing to go to Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Or really get some great recruiters and scouts to find kids that are dead serious, because even if you win the Pac-12 or whatever they're going to call it the next 2 years, to get to the playoffs and get blown out by the SEC and have dudes eating chicken at halftime is not a good look for your team. So he gotta play the long game, and he's gonna have to get out there and find some linemen, offensive and defense, that are 5-star kids.
But like I said, I mean, it's going to be hard because you about to have all these other schools that you never thought of with 4- and 5-star players because of Neil. You know, they want their money too. They want their money.
I just think the in Colorado is just so much higher. Like you got the publicity that they're getting. But it's so uncanny for the university.
It's still the publicity, but you got to ask yourself the same. I call it the Alabama effect. Alabama had 5-star after 5-star after 5-star at one position. Those kids didn't get to play until their junior year.
Indeed.
What if you get 3 Travis Hunters at cornerback? They're not going to play until their junior year. These kids want to get on the field now.
They'll leave.
So I'm not going to go somewhere where I'm going to sit 2-3 years behind somebody. I'm not.
Let me jump in, and we're going to change subjects real quick. Me and Darryl actually talked about this the other day, and you're right, Wells. These kids want to play. So why wouldn't you go somewhere else? Like you said, there's 5 other Travis Hunters that can go somewhere and start. Look at and this is kind of a segue to why Duke beat your Clemson Tigers the other night, right?
Yeah.
So what happened? So we're transitioning to, as you don't know, Wells is a huge Clemson fan, but go ahead, Wells.
Dabo. Dabo is still ducking. Dabo is still stuck in Dabo's time. Dabo fails to adapt and change with the time. Yes, he goes out and get Clemson guys, but Dabo only offers 30 to 40 kids a year when you got all these other Power 5 schools throwing out 60 and 80 offers. You can't go out and do that. Plus, Dabo has an issue with the transfer portal. He refused to go in it.
He better get it over.
He has an issue with Neil. So
he may as well go to D2 now.
He's not going to get those Sammy Watkins.
Drop the D2.
He's not going to get those Travis Etiennes.
Go ahead and play North Dakota.
Now, don't get me wrong. His incoming class that he got coming in,
serious.
I mean, the kid Peter Woods that he has playing this year is going to be a monster. But he has a linebacker. The kid's name is Sammy Brown. And you talk about Travis Hunter, this kid, Sammy Brown, can play any and every sport and be at the top. The kid is a 5-star. He's a 5-star athlete. Number 1 linebacker, number 1 player in the country.
Problem with him, and I seen him. I just watched him actually in the high school game. Right, IMG, right? It's IMG. Yeah.
No, he's in. Sammy Brown is in. He's actually in Georgia. I can't remember the school, but
there's a school.
The kid is a monster.
All right. Well, yeah, I probably got the wrong dude. But the reality is this: if you don't go and you don't get in, right? What's going to happen is these kids that you think, because you can break off your recruitment and you can rescind your offer to go to a school, right? So you're not locked in. So they can say it. So if somebody come with some money, all these kids can bounce. And Dabo just be mad because it's already out there. That, the state of Texas got the most paper, right? So you're going to see A&M, Texas. You might see SMU jump up there because they got the most money as a state, and those are the guys that put money behind football. You can see the high school stadiums. That ain't coming from the public school, fund endowment. Dudes is putting money to have these stadiums for kids to play football in Texas, right? And I'm not talking about stadiums. That's like stadiums.
Yeah. They like college stadiums.
So Dabo is going to lose kids if he doesn't get in. And I found
if he doesn't change.
I found it ironic that they lost to Duke, and Duke was a school when Coach K was there that didn't want any one and dones until Kentucky whooped them a few times. He was like, "Oh, okay, I got you now."
Yeah.
Right.
Now, that's what you meant. That I am sorry because I thought you was talking about something else, but now I understand exactly what you mean now. Right, so that's kind of how you got to adapt.
Yeah, but that goes back. Duke got a bunch of players that sat behind players on these Alabama and Georgia. Duke got those players now. Duke got players out the transfer portal that Dabo refuses. Dabo goes in there and he picks a quarterback that already committed to Clemson years ago, and he go bring him back.
But I don't have a problem with what he's doing. And if that's the way he wants to live,
and
live that way.
Yeah, because his way has had him as a 10-win team the past 12 years.
Yeah, but
2 national titles. Yes. That's his way. Yeah. But now times are changing, so you got to change with it.
How many wins you think you're going to get this year with Clemson?
7.
Oh, if they continue the way they look this past, oh man. 5.
Dorian Jr. at 7. Mike,
5.
what you think Clemson gonna do?
5 is crazy.
Nah. Because listen,
smiling and saying Jesus. That's 5 games right
there. Yeah. But you have to look. But you got to think. You got Notre Dame, Florida State. He got to go to Louisville, and even though Louisville doesn't have the name players, Louisville has talent there. Louisville has talent. Yeah. So I mean,
so we think Florida State.
Real?
They're real. They are real. That is not. That is.
But this is the thing. If Dabo can turn it around. If Dabo can turn it around. And listen, it be true. The way they played the other night, I got them losing to Charleston Southern. But if Dabo
Stop, bro.
Stop,
bro. Let me call my bookie now.
I played against Charleston Southern when I was in college, man. Don't you dare say that.
But the good thing about it, if Dabo can turn it around, all those teams that I just named, with exception of Louisville, they got to come to Clemson.
Yes.
So you got to go to Death Valley, and you got to play. If he can turn it around and he can get the kids to buy it. But I will say this: that air raid offense that TCU had last year is not the same air raid that I saw Clemson with this past Monday night.
He had to tweak it for you.
So I don't know. It looked like they just ran the same 3-4 plays over and over again, and I'm not understanding that. But that's not the same offense that Riley used at TCU.
I got 2 things real quick with Clemson. One, if they wear the purple uniforms, they'll win because they always win in those.
Always win in purple,
yeah. And they don't too. I'm trying to find one of those. And the other thing with Clemson is that they just have to run the ball more. They got to slow it down and run the ball. And you know what really hurt them? The coach at Oklahoma.
Venables, yeah.
Because that dude there was a great defensive coordinator, And now you don't have.
He was.
You got great. But you got players. You got players, but you got players out of position.
Right, and they said
your dudes look LOST.
They were slow. They were slow.
Ooh, boy.
They were slow to the ball. That's not a Clemson defense that I'm used to. With Venables. Even the defense last year, they flew to the ball and made tackles. They were slow.
But that comes from practice. That means to me that you did that all summer. That's all it means to me.
Right.
So you practice like you play. You play
and they got 5-star defensive players all over the field.
But if you're not running in practice, you're not going to run in the game.
You're not. I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree.
I know you're not tackling as much, and you got those big old things on your helmet and everything else. But my thing is, dude, get to the ball. Get to the ball.
Let me tell y'all something that y'all need to look forward to in the next few years. The same thing that's going on in college football with the recruitment and the NILs and all that. Look forward to hit high school football in the next few years.
I said that the other day.
It's already there.
It's
already there. It's already there. It's just not advertised, but it's already there. You got kids and these kids are transferring schools like they're actually in a transfer portal in high school. There is one. You know what I'm saying? So just expect that, because don't be surprised if you see a lot of high school coaches, you have some high school kids that are on the field playing, making more than their high school coach.
You think about this, right?
Real.
And I'm gonna go sleep soon. So, but y'all think about this, real
really
talk, right? And because I've watched this in basketball, the reason that it's slow to football is because there's so many kids, right? In basketball, you can always get, like in North Carolina, for instance, it's and I tell my cuz back home, right? So in Jersey, it's private school football is better than public school football.
Yeah, anything with a Saint in front of it is pretty good in the New York, New Jersey area. Go ahead.
But that comes, so the money for those schools is coming for those kids, and it's coming for free tuition, right? That's how you get 30, 40 kids on the team, right? North Carolina, private school football is not as good as public school football. Now, you're going to get a few players here and there, but by and large, a good public school team will beat a good private school team. When I say beat, I mean beat them half to death, right? So that's usually what it is, because in North Carolina, coaches, you can't get someone to put 30 kids on scholarship at a school.
Right.
But you can do it with basketball. So with Dorian, when he played that in private school basketball, John Wall, all those dudes play private school because the private school will come get you at the public school and pay your tuition. Right. So what happens for this football thing, like you say, to happen, it has to come from those coaches. Those coaches and whoever's backing those coaches has to say, well, I'll take Kevin, and I'll take Wells, I'll take Mike, and have the money and wherewithal to house these kids, and pay the tuition for these young men. Because, again, it is not an easy thing to do, because the financial part of it is crazy. So I got a thing, and, everybody tell you, like, when I see IMG play somebody, I always ask the
Bishop Sycamore?
Yeah, it doesn't matter who they are. Yes. So when I say...
That's a whole nother episode. Yes. Don't do it.
Well, but what I'm saying, well played, Wells. But what I'm saying is, like, so whenever I see them play anybody, the first thing I ask is, is that school a sleep school? Like, because if, like, they're not supposed to play public school A. Because those kids, like, so that's why Miami Central to me is special, because for them to play with Bishop Gorman and them to be a real public school, like, the only cats that we got going here are the ones in the district, right? Because you ain't moving to that district because it's the hood, and no one wants to be in that damn district, right? But you can't have like IMG playing public school B, because those kids just go there to play football, And the other,
Right.
there is a disparity in the type of kids that are going to these schools as opposed to just going to public school. Now you'll get some kids that are good and whatnot, but that's where you're going to get that NIL thing because they're already paying for the kids to be there. So it's just a small step to say, we'll give you some NIL money for you to be here. We'll give you some other money for you to be here.
Yeah.
Because we're already paying money. Now you're going to get a few public school dudes to do it, but it'll be isolated to the stars of the team because you can't pay for 40 kids in the public school.
No, you're not going to be able to do that. No.
But you're going to have good public school teams.
So real quick, D brought up Miami Central alumni. I'm just reading 5 off the rip. Devontae Freeman, Davin Cook. Hold on. I said Freeman, Carol Phillips, Tavari Cadet. They have a long list. It's like 3 rows deep. They have a bunch of NFLers in there.
That's crazy. One district.
Miami, one high school in Miami.
That's crazy.
Miami Central. Shout out to Miami Central.
Well, I know.
Go ahead. And we're gonna have to move on to the NFL.
Right. So I know here where I'm at in Savannah, Georgia, you have the private schools that now dominate. You got the Benedictines, the BC, where their starting quarterback has committed to Florida State. You have Cavalry, who have 3, 4, and 5-star players all over the field, just as BC. And then you got Savannah Christian, who has the number 1 player in the class of 2025, Elijah Griffin, and one of the top freshmen in the country, along with Keith Brookins' son and a few other players on that team. These private schools here dominate, but they play. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, they play, and they play the public schools here, and they dominate. I feel like, when in their class, being that they're 3A and 4A, I feel like they should be playing 5, 6, 7A. And then you have a school similar to IMG in South Carolina, Gray Collegiate. How can you go to the playoff with only 4 games? Everybody else has forfeit against them and didn't even play them yet. So you got a public school that played them 2 weeks ago, and the final score was 65-62, something like that. But this public school, Crestwood High School, as y'all know, John Morant, old high school, they have some athletes on that team. They have some players, but they wasn't scared to play them. At Gray Collegiate is a 2A school.
Right.
But you got private and public schools within South Carolina that's forfeiting against Gray Collegiate because they don't want to step on the field with them.
Wow.
That's crazy. So out of their full schedule, they may only get to play 3 or 4 games because everybody else done forfeit.
So why are we not putting that school in the same league with IMG and Bishop Gorman? And
and that's the same thing I say about the private schools here.
Yeah, go ahead, get on
that's what I'm saying.
Because if you
go and play these schools.
If you got kids living here that don't live here, and you got dorms and donor parents and whatever else, then you need to go play IMG. Like you can't play public schools because
you need to play Bishop Gorman. You need to go travel and play these teams, and that's how I feel about those 3 private schools here because, man, they have the talent that can actually get out there and compete with the Gray Collegiates and probably IMGs. These private schools here, they have that. But you get the games around here, and it's not really
good games.
No.
So,
because
go ahead.
Because you have getting beat by 60 and 50 is not fun.
So let me pose this question. How do we fix it? And let me follow up by saying we can't fix it tonight. So that means, you got to come back and you and DA, DA, you got to get your cousin on and come through. So, have something where we can talk about, because this ain't going to be solved tonight. And a lot of things high school sports and leading up to, high school, leading up to college. There's a lot going on with that, man. And I appreciate the the conversation that we had tonight. This was awesome, man. Talking about college football. It's that time of year, and hopefully college football can absolutely be competitive this year. And Mike, the Pac-12 is the best conference.
Yeah, and just to say,
so far,
just to throw something out there, because I do it every week now. Whenever Kevin brings up something, but EA Sports, the best football game you ever made is that NCAA game where you can start at high school and go all the way through college and then get to the NFL.
I believe that was 2014.
Yeah, and I know y'all don't want to pay these kids, but good God, that game was dope.
But it's coming. These high school kids will be soon getting paid. Mark my words.
Oh man, D-Dub said he's sorry he missed it tonight. D-Dub, we got things going on. D-Dub, we miss you too. Appreciate you chiming in. Let me shout out some of the Chasers brothers. Dan chiming in. Dan, thank you, Dan. And the Angry One, he's chiming in also, man. Thank you, fellas, for chiming in, man. College football, man, we almost talked almost a full hour about college football. A lot going on. Week 2 will commence coming on this. What's tomorrow's game or tonight's game? Is it not a tonight's game? There's a Friday night game. Is that a Friday night game? I don't see one.
Yes.
Man.
I think it's a Friday night.
Yeah, but week 2 will commence. We'll see what we're going with Colorado this week too. It's must see TV. You got to admit that, man. But let me transition to the National Football League. The National Football League, DA. I don't know if you're going to hang out or do you think? If so, okay. He's chunking up the dudes. Yeah, $5 before you leave. Just hit that. In fact, let me make it easy for you, DA. Hey, DA, hit that QR code right there. And yeah, $5 right there. We still can't hear you. $10. We still can't hear you. That's $10 now. It's 15. 20. It ain't me. I'm gonna stop counting, man, before he be up.
My $20, man. Damn.
Mike is still, he's like 15, 20.
25.
He said this is Mike. Okay, he says it's Mike. All right, so we'll stop at 25. Hey, make sure you hit that QR code before you go to bed, bro. Hit us up. Let me go. DA, we can't hear you, bro, so I don't know what it is. We'll fix it at a later date. Is that him? Hey, all right. NFL, National Football League, Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions are deadlocked at 0 with 7:30 left in the first quarter. The NFL is here. This is the first night of NFL. We did not get an opportunity to run through the other divisions in the NFC. We only talked about the NFC East. So, hey, I'm going to just talk about the NFC West, and I'll start with Dorian Jr. Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, Seahawks. Oh, Dad.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on the NFC West? Who's going to do what? What you think?
Well, I think Cardinals dumpster fire. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything this year.
Oh, no.
Kyler Murray out. They said about 4 games. They don't have
is he out or is he playing Call of Duty? Where's Dan at?
He might be
tanking.
He might be playing the game. I don't even know, but it's
tanking.
New coach.
Yeah, for real, Wells. Yeah, I think they're tanking. Go ahead, Dorian Jr.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do anything great. I think they may, at the most, get like 4 games, and that's because I think they're going to tank. They're going to try to get that number 1 pick. However the case may be. We can't hear you.
Nah,
Big DA.
We still can't hear you. We still can't hear you. When he gets on, we'll what you call
troubleshooting the microphone.
Man, you see him, right? Look,
he's over there.
I used to live with that man. Let me tell you.
Breaking news: Joe Burrow signs a 5-year, $275 million deal with the Bengals.
Good money.
We knew that was
good money.
Yeah, so
well deserved.
He's got the money. D-Dub is laughing at DA. That's funny. Mike, your thoughts on the NFC West? I'm sorry, Dorian Jr., you didn't finish. Go ahead. What you got?
Oh, I mean, I got Cardinals last. I said 49ers probably it's between, to me, like the 49ers and the Seahawks to probably take this conference.
I agree.
I say 49ers just because I like their defense a lot better. They gave Nick the money that he needed. So I think he's going to do everything he needs to do on the defensive side, from the captain standpoint. A lot of weapons on the outside offensively for the San Francisco 49ers. Seahawks, I like them. Geno Smith, hell of a season last year. He got turned up again. To me, if the Seahawks do anything, that would be the only way they do is if Geno Smith turn it up again with the weapons. They don't have the easiest schedule from what I looked at, but I think they're going to be able to sneak out a few wins just in the middle of their schedule to put them in. I'd say like a 9. I would say maybe 8 to 9, maybe 10 wins at the max for the Seahawks.
Gotcha.
Rams, I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on with Stafford. I was reading that he's not having luck in the locker room, which to me, if your quarterback's not having luck in the locker room, I don't know how you're going to win games.
Mike Mills has a name for Stafford. Mike,
what you got for him?
Are you talking about Matthew Goff? That's what we talking about? Same person, the other fraud? Why are we talking about all these frauds tonight?
Listen.
I can't.
I don't think he's going to be that great. Like I said, I think he doesn't have the locker room. They said, Cooper Kupp out. I think Cooper's out for the first game. And to me, if those two are not gelling, they may win 5, maybe 6 games. I don't see them doing that great. 49ers taking it, high ceiling, probably 12 games, and that's on the high end. But yeah, that's what I got for the NFC West.
I'm gonna tell you real quick. I got the Niners winning the West. The Seahawks will get a wild card. The Rams, I don't know where they're at. And Cardinals are just a dumpster fire. And just like Wells said, they are tanking for the. What's my man? What's his name? His name is escaped.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
But his dad did say, if a team is has the number one pick that Caleb doesn't agree with, he's going to stay in college. That's the power of the Neil.
Yes.
That's the power. So if Arizona has the number one pick, and Caleb doesn't want to go to Arizona, he's going to stay in college.
Detroit just put a touchdown up here a few seconds ago. Detroit 6-0 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Mike, you were saying about the why we talking about this fraud? Well, is the NFC West a fraud? Or, yeah.
just Matthew Stafford. The Rams had a tight window going to get him, and looking like that window's closing due to injury. I thought they would have had another run in them, but as you see what's going on, Cooper Kupp breaking down, Stafford's shoulder jacked up. They're not going to be who they wanted to be. So I see them in third place because the Cardinals are awful. They dog awful. They gave up Isaiah Simmons for nothing. So clearly they got something going on over there. They
shout out to us.
They stripping the cupboards bare. But I see the Niners winning, and the Niners really don't got to be completely overly great to win. 12 games will probably do it. I like the Seahawks. The Seahawks had a good draft class. Like they went and got another corner. Not like they really needed one, but went and got another corner with a top 5 pick. They went and got the receiver from Ohio State. They got a lot of guys on the D line and O line. So if Geno Smith maintains. And then they already got Kenneth Walker back to see they run the ball. If they ran the ball a little bit more, I would like them more. But you know how these teams do now. But I can see them sneaking a wild card spot. Because I see the Giants. It's 3 wild cards, right? It's 3 this year?
It's 3.
So I can see the Giants getting one. I can see the Seahawks maybe stealing one if the Cowboys don't get their shit together, which is real cowboy-ish. So we'll see. But I definitely got the Niners first, Seahawks second. Rams 3. Well, the Rams could be last too, depending. Well, they ain't got no draft picks, so they better be 3. So
for sure. Wells, what you got in the NFC West? What you got? Your thoughts?
I think let's say San Francisco is probably the clear cut favorite in that in the West. You know, Seattle. I say Gino got the weapons on the outside. I can see Seattle possibly being number one if they can run the ball and they can stop the run. If they can run the ball and they can stop it, Seattle possibly could overtake San Francisco. But I give it to San Francisco. Third, you got the Rams, but no telling how's that going to play out.
Right.
You know, and then Arizona, who's tanking, because you pretty much done gave up everything. You just letting people sit out and just giving away players.
It's just crazy over here, man.
That's pretty much how I see it. I mean, 49ers, and you only have to, honestly, in that division, 11 wins to get you the conference. Division championship. So
I agree.
Who's the first team to 10 or 11? And there's only 2 teams over there, so that's pretty much how I see it.
Gotcha. Let's move on to the NFC North. You got the Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings. Vikings lost in the divisional game against my Giants last year. The Lions, me and D-Dub was talking on the phone today, and I like the Lions, but the Lions got to show and prove. They got to show that they got to turn the corner, in my opinion. The jury's still out on the Bears with their quarterback situation. The Packers are just getting over their breakup with Aaron Rodgers, and they got my man Love at the helm. So we'll see. I think the Lions are going to win this division. That's
a brave branch
what's the wonderful thing about what we do, right? Is recorded, both video and audio, and y'all can bring it back up, yay or nay. So if it's yay, I'll bring it back up. If it's nay, y'all got to find somebody to do it. No, I'm just joking. I'm standing. Lions will win the NFC North. How about that? NFC North, and then it'll be the Vikings afterwards. The Vikings will get a wild card, and then it'll be the Packers and Bears. So since you're talking, Mike Mills, excuse me, didn't mean to call you by your government name. We'll call you by. What do you think about the NFC North since you talking? What you got?
Kirk Cousins is good for 8 to 9 wins every year.
Show me what you got.
And then you got Justin Jefferson, and they went and got another receiver, and then they just paid Hockenson. So they're going to throw the ball a lot. So that means the game is in his hands a little more. But this division is bad. So it's only going to take 10 to 11 wins to win. So I think the Vikings are going to win it again. Like, there's no reason for them not to win it again. Aaron Rodgers is gone. The Bears are the Bears, and the Lions are the Lions. The Lions were supposed to make the playoffs last year. Remember, they was beating everybody. They was all hot. And what happened?
Yeah.
The Lions went and lion. Jared Stafford turned into who he is and blew the game. That's why I'm not excited now. They up 7-0. That's regular Lion. That's regular Lion behavior. So the Lions are gonna lion, and they're gonna make you think they're gonna make the playoffs, and then they're gonna end up 7-10 like normal. So I got the Vikings winning the division, hands down. I don't know what Jordan Love is going to do, but if Aaron Rodgers couldn't get them receivers last year together, I know Jordan Love ain't going to be able to do it right away neither. So that's going to hinder them a little bit. But, yeah, the Vikings got it. I don't see nobody else making the playoffs. Maybe the Bears win 7 games, maybe.
Okay. Wells, what you got for us for the NFC North?
I like the Lions. I know Minnesota lost Dalvin Cook.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who they have at running back right now, so their run game is
suspect.
Their run is suspect. And if you depending on Kirk Cousins to throw the ball 25, 30, 40 times a game, you're going to have more losses than wins.
The same.
I like the Bears. I like the Bears. I think Justin Field has turned the corner. Not sure about his outside, his receivers, because you got Claypool, which is I don't want to speak on that, but you got you got him over there temporarily.
Let's fans, if you don't know, that's why he said that. Go ahead.
So you got you got a temporary,
Steal.
got him over there, but Detroit, to me, I think Detroit has done more in the draft and bringing in players the past 2 years to get them right now. I think they're going to beat the Chiefs tonight, and I think that will propel them. I think the Lions will win that division with 11 wins. Green Bay is going to win some. I mean, I don't see nobody in that division winning more than, well, I think the least amount of wins the last team will have maybe 6-7 wins.
Right.
So I think, it's going to be a tight division, but I got Detroit, Minnesota, Chicago, and then Green Bay.
So, we're both out on this branch, and it might be shaky. We're both out on this branch.
Is getting weaker and weaker. Weaker and weaker.
We're both out on this branch, so we might have to revisit this at the end of the football season. Dorian, what you got for us, bro? What you think about the NFC North?
Man, hearing what y'all all have to say, I might have to stick with my gut and go Detroit as well at the top of that thing.
Come on, bro. Come on,
listen. Pause. But listen, the Lions, I think, are probably the top because I believe in the man Goff this year. I think he'll be able to do something. Now, mind you, if he pulls the, close my eyes for the last 5 games like he did last year, then maybe not. Right, but if he decides to do something this year with the guys that he has, I think the only thing they got to worry about is that damn gambling problem. Detroit. Honestly,
but
go ahead.
But let me tell you something. Detroit has that the rest of the teams in that division don't. Detroit has a solid running game. They got 2 or 3 backs that can. They got 2 or 3 backs that can get you 100 yards.
They always got that. Remember Theo Riddick and all these other nuts they had?
So,
right.
Brown and Josh Reynolds, Marvin Jones, yes. And Brown got 27 yards already. Reynolds got
rid of. Didn't they just get rid of somebody?
But, yeah, they got rid of Swift. I think they sent him to Buffalo.
Swift went to Buffalo.
He on the Eagles, ain't he?
He on the Eagles? What is it? Either Buffalo or the Eagles. But they still loaded in the backfield, and like you said, I mean, their defense. They have the cornerbacks. They have the defense to play, to play in that division. So I gotta go Detroit. They're young and they talented.
There's only one good offense in that division, so the defense is like, listen. Y'all fans of the show because y'all be up here. Ask Kevin. Kevin, am I wrong often? Am I wrong often? Not wrong often.
Michael has a canny ability to be right. We call him a general manager for real, especially
I don't believe in the Lions, man. It's too much. It's too much hoorah for what I saw last year. Yeah. They didn't make the playoffs last year. They didn't win the division. They upset some people in the middle of the year. Like they got hot for them. But that's Lion stuff. That's Matthew Goff, Jared Stafford behavior. They always do that. They torch people. You like, yo, he figured it out. He got it together. And then some dumb shit happened. Oh, I sprained my shoulder. Oh, my ankle. I've been limping. This is gonna happen. The Lions.
But I see them winning tonight.
Okay. All right, well, they're up 7-0, 14:25 left in the second quarter, man. Let's go to the NFC South, and this will do our review here. You got the NFC South. Wow.
Garbage. Garbage.
Everybody 5 and everybody 5-12. Whole division 5-12.
I looked at this today. I say, who's going to win this division? Is this going to be like a couple years ago when the Buccaneers, when Tom Brady was there, they finished 8-8 when they did 16 games?
I think the Saints.
Go ahead, Mike.
But
go ahead. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
One team that's supposed to win this division, but that team has a history of being like the Lions and not living up to what they're supposed to be. So I'm gonna say this about that. Like the first week, that team I'm talking about, they played the Colts. So I was telling people, like, I don't believe in Anthony Richardson. Like, I think he needs to sit a year or two. But if he was to ever have a team to play week 1 to start a rookie of the year campaign and kill them, it's that team that's supposed to win that division because they can absolutely do the opposite of what they're supposed to do. So the Jaguars are supposed to win the division, but they are the Jaguars. So take that as whatever you want it to mean. But they're supposed to win this division.
When you say, I'm talking about the NFC.
I thought you said the AFC South. I thought you said the AFC South.
No, NFC South. Yeah,
NFC South. That's another terrible division.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Wait, he doesn't play.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on now.
I just said AFC.
No, NFC.
There's one team that's supposed to win that division too, but they
who you got?
Piece up.
I say the Saints. The Saints.
I was gonna say the Saints.
Yeah, I think the Saints are gonna win that division, man. The quarterback for Atlanta. Go ahead, Wells. Go ahead with your pushback. Why you pushing back? Go ahead.
I know it's I don't know if it's bad luck or bad juju or whatever it is about these Atlanta about the Falcons. I think the Falcons will win if they keep the halftime performances or keep the local rappers off the field, out the locker room. It never fails. It never fails.
You treat them like a college team.
They have to treat because I think I like Ritter. I like Ritter coming out of college. I like their backfield. I think they got some young receivers that's gonna be, and I think they got some key pieces on defense. I want to say the Falcons, but then I look at the Saints, and that's a team that you can't sleep on. You can't sleep on the Saints. Tampa Bay is they're gonna be looking for a first round pick. I don't know. I got the Falcons and Saints. It's a toss up between them two.
All right.
Carolina is young. I think they're going to need a few more years. But
yeah,
I think they probably finish last. No, I think they'll be better than Tampa Bay. So I got the Saints, Falcons, Panthers, and Tampa.
Okay. Dorian, who you got, sir?
Yeah, I'm starting with the Saints. Even with Alvin out, they got the Jamal Williams cat who can run the ball.
Agreed.
Derek Carr picking up at the quarterback is always solid. I'm not going to say that.
Right.
Matthew Golf or whatever he ain't one of them. You know what I mean? So I would believe he'd be able to do something. Take
Mike, you need to coin that phrase.
Yeah, I know you need to write.
Matthew Golf and Jarvis Sanders.
That's a good one.
They the same person.
And Mike been saying this for a couple years now. When he first said it, when he first said it, we fell out. I think I actually named the episode after that because when he said it, I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, no, I think they're gonna take the conference. They got a lot of pieces around Derek Carr, so we got a lot of weapons. I think defense, should be still pretty good. They got the Jordan guy leading the defense, leading the line. I didn't see anything that was alarming as far as like anybody leaving or coming in that was like, oh, their defense should really improve or get worse. So probably gonna be around the same. They just got to probably play harder. Falcons, I like Desmond. They got what's the kid, the Robinson. Forget his first name. That was his last name. Bijan. I don't know how he's gonna play through the year, but I know on Madden he's nice. So hey, he might do something. You know what I mean? So they got a weaker schedule, so they may be able to sneak a few, which I think is gonna be beneficial for them. Bucks rebuild. I don't think they're really gonna do anything with Baker Mayfield, running the helm. And then you got the Bryce Young cat, over him with the Panthers. And I live in Carolina. I don't believe in the Panthers ever. I don't have any faith in that organization. So they may squeeze out 5 or 6, but I got the Saints taking it.
Gotcha.
Right.
Mike, did you give? I'm sorry, before I go.
Saints winning. Panthers are like, their defense is ahead of their offense, which is normally a good sign. So I say a year or two, and then they'll be competitive because their division is bad. And I think I agree that they'll be better than the Buccaneers because it's easier to fix a young person with bad habits than an old person with bad habits. And Baker's old now, so he's gonna have bad habits forever. Atlanta's cool. They got a lot of pieces on offense. We got to see if that quarterback is the quarterback they need. But the Falcons have a history of going away from running the ball when they win it. Like it started with Michael Turner. They wanted to, we got Matt Ryan. We believe in him. And Matt Ryan is great. But you got a guy that can run 15 to 1,600 yards. Let that man run. And then you
cost him a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, that's the old man in me. But let's need to handle that. I got the Saints winning. Derek Carr got that Matthew Stafford, Jekyll Hyde thing a little bit, but it's not as bad as the rest. I feel like with the right coach, he'd be all right. But he got the same little, you don't know which one going to show up. But he is better than his brother.
Jekyll and Hyde. I think that's it for the episode. I think that's what we'll name it. Jekyll and Hyde. Thank you, Michael. Let me give you my before we get on out of here. I got the Saints. I think the Falcons will come up second. Their quarterback situation, and like Mike alluded to, they got some good pieces on the offensive side of the ball, but quarterback, as we know, is important. So if the quarterback can progress along, we'll see. I think the Buccaneers, I agree with all of y'all. They're in this crazy, they went for it. They got their Super Bowl with Brady, and now they're left with not a lot, but with some older pieces. Mike Evans is squabbling about some things, and some of the older guys is hurt, so they're in transition. I don't believe in Baker Mayfield, and he showed it in Cleveland. So, and when he went to the other place, where did he go? He went to L.A. Was it L.A.? Not the Chargers.
Rams.
When he went to the Rams, when Goff got hurt. Excuse me, when Stafford got hurt. See, Mike, you messing me up when you when naming these players, man. So
same person.
Yeah, same person. All right. And then we got I said the Panthers. I think the Panthers will bring up the rear in the NFC South, which will not be a very good division this year. You will get your one division winner from there to get the go to the playoffs, and that's it. That's all you're going to get from there, man. So. Real quick, and I only got a few minutes, and we're going to transition real quick. Well, I'm going to transition, and I'll just say it. Baseball, we didn't get a chance last night. Just power rankings real quick, 1 through 5, because it's September 7th. The Braves, according to CBS Sports, they're still on top. They got 90 wins already. 90 wins as of yesterday. Dodgers, second. Orioles, third with 88 wins in the NFC. In the American League East, they're going to duke it out with the Rays. The Rays are 85 and 55. They got number 4. The Mariners are 78 and 60. They're number 5. Astros 80 and 61. Brewers 77 and 62. Phillies are 77 and 62. Hey, watch out for the Cubs, man. The Cubs have been playing really good ball since the All-Star break, and they have. I would just say watch out for the Cubs, man. Just watch out for the Cubs. Milwaukee's going to win that division. Well, if the Cubs keep on playing the way they do, I think Milwaukee Cubs will pull it out. But watch out for that. Watch out for the National League Central with that. And then you got the Blue Jays at number 10. And that's all I got. As for baseball, we'll go a little bit more in depth about baseball next week. Our time is almost up. We're going to have to, get to football. Kansas City just scored. It's 7-7. 7-7. Chiefs have tied it up. I guess I can get rid of that. Chiefs are tied up at 7-7. We're going to do party shots real quick. Get on out of here, man. I want first of all thank both my guests, Dorian Jr. Thank you, man, for coming on.
Sure.
And like you said, getting this reps in. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. And our friend of the show, Mr. Sylvester Wells, man. Thank you so much, bro, for.
Oh, welcome, brother.
I thought you knew that I wanted you to come through, man. But I appreciate you. I called you when I literally had my microphone, like my headphone like that, and you was like, "Yo, let me stop." And well, as you can see, you stopped alongside the road, man, and probably didn't even get nothing to eat, man. So I owe you, brother.
Hey,
thank you so much.
Oh, you for sure, bro. Anytime, man. Y'all guys awesome.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, man. Party shots. I'll start with Mike Mills, Jekyll and Hyde. What you got for us, bro?
Nothing major. Thank you guys for being up here with us tonight. Thank you, DA, who sleeps somewhere. Shout out to Ambien. Thank you to our brothers that couldn't make it to the show tonight. And thank you for all those that's viewing. And new music next week. That's it.
New music for Mike Mills. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Dorian, what you got for us, bro? Party shots, bro.
Man, just thank you, everybody listening. I appreciate you always letting me come on the show when I ask. You know what I mean? Always good talking with you guys, just having, candid conversation about, real sports, because a lot of times I don't have these conversations with many other people. I'm at the house with my wife most of the time, so I don't really be having these convos much anymore. So it's always good to kind of get on the line with you guys. So that's about it.
I appreciate that, my brother, man. I appreciate that. Dorian, my main man, Wells, what's good, bro? What you got? Parting shots, man, before we...
Hey, man. Hey, appreciate it, man. I look forward to it. Hey, I know last time I was on the show, but be on the lookout for the Simp Sports podcast, man. That's with my brothers, Reek King and Will Sane, man. And we gonna get this thing started and get the ball rolling. So look forward to having some of you guys on the show.
No doubt. You call us, we're there, bro. You call us, we are definitely there, man. So I don't have anything heavy. I appreciate all of you tonight coming through. We missed our brothers, Dan, how hockey do. Hockey's about to start up again. The angry one, we miss him. D-Dub, we miss you. And the DA, the DA's probably knocked out somewhere, man. Shout out to him.
He came in and gave us a smooth 15 and dip off the bench, didn't he? He came in and gave us a smooth 15 off the bench.
Bro. All right, guys, equipment on air. He did everything.
Those are the vet minutes. That's what you call them,
vet minutes.
He came in and gave you some vet minutes.
He's up there trying to figure out his equipment on the air. He's like, I said, he still can't hear you, bro. $20, $25.
Put his equipment together midstream.
Out the box, man. But love DA, man. That is my brother for life, man. I've been knowing Dorian for a very long time, man. That is my brother for life, man. I love that dude, man. I love all my guys up here, man. But I appreciate you. Hey, it's football. Football's on. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions are tied 7-7. Those that tuned out to watch the football game, and hey, you want to come back and say, see what we said? Hey, tune back in. Whether we're on all major podcast platforms. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That means you got to actually have a handle on YouTube. Sign up, please. It doesn't work if you are being a guest. I need you to actually go in there and subscribe to the Sports Chasers podcast, and it's free. It costs you nothing, just a little bit of time. But just go in there and sign up, please. Do it for us so we can make up and mess up the algorithm. We're trying to do our thing when it's according to sports, have good conversation when it comes to sports. On the field stuff, I could care less about some of the off the field stuff. That will take care of itself. And you have other platforms that are willing to talk about it. We are not willing to talk about on this podcast, but Mike, right? Look out. We might have something in the future there where, hey, we'll have somebody can talk about all that off the field stuff. But man, I had a blast tonight. Thank you guys. Thank you, gentlemen. Dorian, thank you so much. Sylvester Wells, thank you so much. Mike Mills, my main man. I appreciate you, bro, man. Make sure you look out for Mike. He got new music next week. Hey, on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin Warren, your host and moderator for Mike Mills, Dorian Jr., Sylvester Wells, and also in his absence and sleeping somewhere, the DA, D-Dub, the angry one, James Eric, and Dan the hockey dude. Hey, this is a Sports Chasers podcast. Y'all be good, be blessed. Have a great and awesome weekend. Be safe, be careful. We see y'all next Thursday. No, excuse me. Hey, we see y'all next on this Monday. Fourth is short. 9 o'clock. Be there. 30 minutes. We give you the best 5 games on Sunday. We'll talk about it. Hey, be there. 4th and short. We'll be right here talking about it. Hey, y'all be good. No doubt. Talk that.
Go Steelers.
Ooh.
Yo, this is a Sports Chasers podcast. Y'all be good. Y'all be blessed, man. Peace.
All right.
Oh man, I'm feeling. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I do. Hold on.
Where the outro music at?
I'm trying to give it to you. Hold on.
What's